Berry, and today we're going to be watching the biggest troll in the fast food industry, Taco Bell. I'll be honest with you, I do eat Taco Bell. I like eat the Taco Bell. Crunch wrap, no sour cream, no tomatoes, extra nacho cheese. So let's get her done.
Today we're talking about Taco Bell, probably the biggest troll.
I'm sorry to be a pause, Andy, but I immediately heard, yo quiero Taco Bell.
In the restaurant industry. Buh! That's not true. Have you read Wendy's Twitter? It's hilarious. Buh! Yeah, we know. Wendy's has a funny Twitter where they clap back at people in the comment section.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care if they're clapping back at people. I just want my potato taco.
Okay, what I need you to understand is that Taco Bell has been out here actively trolling entire government agencies, and they've been doing it since back in the 90s before the internet made that shit easy. They're quite literally one of, if not the only pioneer of meme-style marketing. And we're gonna get into it right after a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Sheath. Okay, look, I'm not gonna overcomplicate this. It's underwear with a pocket inside so you can stick your junk in it so your
What? You guys get underwear with pockets? And I can't even find jeans with pockets? What the hell?
balls aren't stuck to your thigh. Okay, I've got this piece of paper with this page of all this shit I'm supposed to read. Like, oh, they have all these fancy new designs. Like, yeah, that's cool. They're also the official underwear of the UFC. Like, great.
What?
Okay, but look, here's...
Oh, because maybe if you're like fighting, the last thing you want is a sack on your leg. Because then, I'm not a guy, but I assume you'd have to like rip it off. And then if you're like trying to rip your balls off your leg in the middle of a fight, that's a lot of multitasking. Yeah.
It's the truth. You know who doesn't really need underwear to keep balls from sticking to their thigh?
Me!
World-class athletes with six-packs. Okay, you wanna know who does need this underwear? Bigger dudes that have been told at every doctor's appointment since they were like 11 that they needed to lose weight, and they just so happen to sweat anytime the temperature gets above 72, okay?
What?
Don't fucking look at me and I won't look at you, all right? You wanna know the best part about this underwear? You can buy a pair, try it out. Worst case scenario, you're like, you know what? Turns out I actually do enjoy my balls sticking to my thigh. You can just not stick your junk in the pocket, and then boom, you've got a normal pair of underwear that feels the exact same, except now you've got a secret pocket that you can, like, I don't know, hide stuff in if you wanted to.
Why would you want your ball on your leg? Maybe. No. Maybe. No. I'm thinking of every reason you would want that.
Oh, and you can put your weed in there.
So yeah, you absolutely need to try some Sheath underwear. You literally have nothing to lose. The worst case scenario is that you bought some underwear. The best case scenario is that you never have your balls stuck to your thigh ever again. I'm gonna have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video.
That was the craziest advertisement I ever heard. Now I just see balls in my head. And I'm really thinking about the mechanics.
The story begins in 1948 with a young man by the name of Glenn Bell. See what they did there? Glenn Bell, Taco Bell. Anyways, moving on. Glenn Bell has just returned home from serving his country as a cook in the United States Marine Corps. Get right out of the gate, things are already starting to add up. I've said it once and I'll say it again. You don't call up the Marines unless you want something dead, broken, or pregnant. And I've known that Taco Bell was military food all along.
The reason it's military food is because it's shit on the shingles.
But Glenn didn't start off by selling Mexican food right out of the gate. He actually opened up a hot dog stand in San Bernardino, California, known as Glenn's Drive-In. And things go absolutely awesome. They go so awesome that after a couple of years, he opens up a second location and expands into not only selling hot dogs, but also selling hamburgers. But then another restaurant comes into San Bernardino, California, and they're also just trying to sell a bunch of hamburgers, a little company called McDonald's.
This is gonna sound like the most American thing you've ever heard. But when I was a kid, we had this program in school where you had to like have somebody that you looked up to and write an essay about them. I wrote an essay about the guy who made McDonald's because I love the chicken nuggets so much.
So Glenn decides, you know what, I'm not gonna try out hamburger McDonald's. I'm gonna go ahead and make a slight alteration to my menu. I'm not gonna sell hot dogs and hamburgers anymore. I'm gonna start selling tacos. And my favorite little fun fact about this is that Taco Bell's taco sauce is actually Glenn Bell's original recipe for the chili in his chili dog. Wait a minute.
What?
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is a man. Oh my God.
Yeah, did you guys know that tacos are just Mexican hot dogs?
Services for emergencies only?
Yeah, I know, but hear me out. This explains.
Yeah, wait. So it's also a sandwich? You know, actually a hot dog you should try if you're feeling a little bit experimental is get a hot dog bun, put a banana in it, and put peanut butter on one side and jelly on the other. Then you have a banana dog that's pretty good.
Why Taco Bell's original slogan was always think outside the bun.
Oh.
She is suffering from the worst case of hemorrhoids I have ever seen!
Sorry, I got really distracted. Anyways, he goes from selling hot dogs and hamburgers, changes the name of his restaurant to Taco Tia, and now he starts.
Wait. Taco Tia. They have ants? They should call somebody to take care of that.
selling tacos out of a drive-thru window. And his entire strategy is volume. He wants to sell as many tacos as possible, as cheaply as possible. He ends up selling tacos for 19 cents a piece, and the reason he's able to do that is he just streamlines the entire making or assembly process of a taco. And the way he does that is he pretty much exclusively utilizes hard shells. That way, tacos are just easier to make and the shells are always ready. And to some degree, he's kind of credited with inventing the hard shell taco.
What? He's crazy. I love hard shell tacos because you get the crunch. And also Taco Bell has the Doritos Locos Taco, which is the greatest invention of all time. It's amazing. And they used to have the Cool Ranch Doritos Tacos, and I hope they bring it back because it was good.
Which probably isn't true, but he's definitely the reason that they became so popular. And if you think that sounds crazy, it's absolutely not. You gotta remember, this is like the 1950s. A lot of people in America that weren't near the southern border had never even heard of a taco, let alone had one.
Oh, okay. So he has to make it like digestible for the American palate because this might be the first taco they've ever eaten. And then he has to make them like it. So that's why Taco Bell is more American, because they were introducing it to Americans and wanted it to be palatable.
A lot of people at this point in time, the first time they actually had Mexican food was at a Taco Bell once they started expanding. But regardless, the point is, Glenn Bell has officially just become the Henry Ford of tacos, okay? Just mass production. And to nobody's surprise, that goes great. He grows Taco Tia into multiple locations, ends up selling the entire brand off to another company, starts his own company to grow it again.
Foods?
This one is called El Taco. Does the same thing all over again, grows a company, sells it off. This time he wants to do it a fourth time, but he wants to make it a franchise company and he wants to run the entire thing. So he needs some capital. He partners up with 4 players from the NFL's LA Rams, and they end up starting the very first Taco Bell in 1962. And absolutely nobody's surprised, they totally crush it. I mean, they're selling 19-cent tacos to Americans. It's based
19 cents! What can you buy for 19 cents nowadays? Nothing! You can't even get a gumball!
basically a layup. In the NBA, though.
Perfect to Reese. Well, again, no Brian Reese.
The disrespect! I don't even know why I'm laughing. I got kicked off my basketball team in high school.
Angel physical game. Kennedy, Carter.
Why are they scared of it?
Anyways, within 5 years of being in business, they're doing so well that by 1967, other successful fast food franchises are looking to cut in to this fast food Mexican niche. So Pizza Hut actually starts their own restaurant called Taco Boy, ends up being a huge failure. They cannot out-taco the Bell.
No, and he's just a boy. When we already got the Taco Man.
Fast forward 10 more years, they crush it the entire time, and then in 1978, they actually do end up getting bought out by a larger company, Pepsi.
Oh, okay, look. This is how you guys know I'm American. I know more history about fast food than anything else. I could probably pinpoint 2 countries on an EU map. I think Pepsi was using Taco Bell to promote their drink because everybody knows Coke. Everybody wanted a Coke. But if Taco Bell only sold Pepsi, then maybe they would win some mother suckers over to the dark side.
Okay, and this is the most important part of the story because this is where shit gets completely out of hand, okay? Pepsi
Okay.
also bought a bunch of other restaurants right around the same time.
Let me guess. Long John Silver's. I'm done. Wait, KFC? I think KFC is Pepsi. And yeah. Watch. It's gonna be KFC. It's gonna be KFC and Pizza Hut because there's a combination of Pizza Hut and Taco Bell and Long John Silver's.
Like KFC and Pizza Hut.
Yes! I'm all American.
But Pepsi wasn't out there buying all these restaurants because they were trying to make money off of the restaurant, right? They didn't think they could sell tacos better than Taco Bell. They didn't think they could sell pizza better than Pizza Hut. They bought them so that they could beat Coke. You see, because at this point in time,
Yep.
Coca-Cola is number one. It's not even close. Everybody prefers Coke, and Coke is in every restaurant in America.
That is true. He meant the drink. I'm sorry.
And Pepsi realizes that they need to be able to get their soda into restaurants so that people are forced to try it.
Here comes the airplane. There you go. Open into the hangar. There you go.
And at this point, pretty much no restaurants in America are going to willingly carry Pepsi products because everybody wants Coke and they don't want to
Yeah.
have to tell every customer, is Pepsi okay? So in PepsiCo's mind, in a complete just gangster big dick move, they're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to force restaurants to carry Pepsi. We're going to buy out
True.
entire restaurant chains and then force them to carry Pepsi products.
Look how good that looks. I'm not even kidding. I'm hungry. I'm foaming at the mouth, okay? If you missed the quesarito like me, if you don't, you can skip ahead like 10 seconds. 5-layer burrito. Extra nacho cheese, add chipotle sauce, no beans, steak instead of beef, and it's pretty close. And get it grilled. Pretty close.
Which is going to force the customer to drink Pepsi, and then we're going to get a following. And why this is important to Taco Bell's story is because the new owner of Taco Bell doesn't really give a shit about tacos. The new mission is not to sell good quality Mexican food at a fair price.
It's to shock
the new
people.
mission is get as many motherfuckers through the door as possible and force them to try Pepsi. And at this point, Taco Bell, aka the restaurant founded by a Marine, is like, I'm going to do dumb shit and troll everybody.
Honestly, I think what Taco Bell is the best at is they release like these wacky random items all the time, and I'll go just to try it. Like they had like a Baja Blast pie. Does it sound disgusting? Yeah. Do I have too much time on my hands? Yeah. So I try it. And then when they get me over there, I buy the stupid Crunch Wrap every time, even though it hasn't been good since like 2022.
Which, to be fair, is a completely reasonable reaction when your entire company basically gets turned into a front to waterboard people with Pepsi. Okay, we're just gonna take the shenanigans from the top, okay? In 1992, Taco Bell hired Johnny Cash to be their
What?
spokesperson, right? And I know what you're thinking. Why is that funny? Johnny Cash is awesome. Seems like a great spokesperson. A, I completely agree. But B, it's funny because he's the guy that got famous for singing The Ring of Fire.
Okay, so they were just gonna let me know I'm gonna wreck my rectum. Thank you for that.
Okay, moving right along, the very next year, 1993, Demolition Man the movie comes out. Okay, for those of you that are not familiar with this cinematic masterpiece, here's the entire plot line. We're gonna take Rocky, we're gonna put him inside of a popsicle, and then we're gonna thaw him out like 100 years in the future so that he can fight Blade with blonde hair. So
Okay. That seems pretty cool. I kind of want to watch it. That was a great advertisement.
Taco Bell jumps in and they're like, you know what? Make us every single restaurant in the future. During the storyline of this movie,
No
have a
way.
little offshoot where you pepper in the fact that every restaurant in the world is now Taco Bell because there was restaurant wars and Taco Bell fucking won.
Okay. I do have a statement about this that might make some people upset. I can't watch movies anymore because that seems like a very like funny, expressive way, like kind of a joke. But now there's so much ad placement in every movie that it just turns me off when I see it. Like if you've seen the new Jurassic World or whatever, they have like the same Altoids bit like 10 times. They be labels out, like everything. And when I see it, I go, I know what you're doing. Somebody's trying to sell me something.
The longer this story goes on, the more sense it makes that it was founded by a Marine. By the time 1996 rolls around, they decide they're not gonna just troll their customers, they're gonna start trolling everybody, including the United States government. So what they did for April Fools in 1996 is they took out a full-page ad in the 7 biggest newspapers in America claiming that Taco Bell had reached an agreement with the US government to purchase the fucking Liberty Bell and that they were renaming it the Taco Liberty Bell instead. Now, bear in mind, this is
Well, I mean, they're gonna talk a lot about their business. That makes sense.
1996. Public outcry is still moving pretty slow. There's no Twitter, there's no social medias where people can just immediately be a reactionary at the drop of a hat. No, if you want to be upset about something, you've got to write a letter or you've got to go get a phone book, track down somebody's phone number, and call them.
Do they still hand out those big, like, yellow page books? I haven't had one since I was a kid. Do they give those to people when they move in anymore? That's a lot of paper. No? Because you can just find everything online now. I don't think I have had one in a long time. Oh, but they're not as big? Okay.
There was so much public outcry that by noon of April Fools, the Philadelphia branch of the National Park Service had to have an emergency press conference and tell everybody that it was just a joke and that they didn't sell the Liberty Bell to a taco company. Also worth noting, because it's funny, the White House press secretary at the time, when he was asked about this joke, decided to be a complete smartass and respond by saying, and I quote, "The federal government is also selling the Lincoln Memorial to Ford Motor Company and renaming it the Lincoln Mercury Memorial."
Okay, you got me to laugh. Clap, clap, clap.
And my personal favorite, in 2001, the Russian/Soviet space station Mir was gonna collide back to Earth. Okay, this is like the last remaining symbol of Soviet space travel success, and it is gonna fall into the ocean.
It's got to be his big break. We've got to fuck with him.
So Taco Bell is like, fuck it, we're gonna get a giant inflatable target and stick it in that part of the ocean with a...
Oh, I remember this! And then they were like, if it hits this, everybody gets a something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe they get like a slap on the butt.
Big ass bullseye that says free tacos here. And if the Russians can manage to hit this fucking target with their space station, we're gonna give free tacos to everybody in America. Okay, this is why Pepsi's my favorite soda brand. Do I like the taste? No, but I just like how much they hate the USSR. Okay, for those of you...
I'm sorry, I'm laughing so much during this reaction.
A little fuzzy on the timeline. The USSR disbanded in 1991, right? 6 years later, in 1997, Pizza Hut, the other restaurant owned by Pepsi, gets Mikhail Gorbachev, the former leader of the USSR, to appear in a Pizza Hut commercial to send the very clear, very loud message of communism can't out Pizza the Hut.
And I'm still not going to go to Pizza Hut. I'm going to be honest with you. The one time I did have Pizza Hut was when I was in high school and I was going, I think, to some like dance or something. I don't remember. And I had Pizza Hut and I puked everywhere. So now when I see Pizza Hut, I just think of throw up.
And now, 4 years after that, the Mir space station, the last remaining symbol of Soviet success at literally anything, is about to fall out of orbit and collide with the planet, and a taco company is putting a giant target in outer space, offering free tacos to the entire country that beat them in the Cold War if they manage to hit this target with any remnants of the Soviet space station. Not only is this going to maximize the amount of people watching with anticipation as one of the last living memories of the Soviet Union dies, it's also one giant last middle finger letting them know, hey, we have complete confidence that you guys always miss. Which is exactly what happened. The Soviet space station did not hit the target, probably because it wasn't at point blank facing a wall, and
I think this is my favoriteest video he's made.
Taco Bell did not have to buy everyone in America a taco. So Taco Bell is just god tier level shit talking and trolling, but on top of that, they also have brilliant marketing ideas. My personal favorite and most infuriating, mostly because it didn't stick around, was in 2017, Taco Bell collaborated with Lyft to have a taco mode inside of their app. And what
Taco mode. Who works here? That sounded so hateful and derogatory. But who is working here?
What taco mode was is that when you got picked up by your Lyft driver, they would then immediately take you to the closest Taco Bell drive-thru, let you get food, and then take you home from the
I would just get Uber Eats. This is way too many steps. Like, I don't want to have to sit in the back and talk to somebody I don't know. I would rather them just take it and then put it outside and then I eat it. Also, I was going to say, there was something else. Then I read that guy's comment and I got distracted. Oh, I can't think.
bar.
Woo! That guy have a nose on his head?
Okay, I don't know how this feature didn't stick around longer. Maybe I'm in the minority.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Boing. It was, so when I went to Evo, they had something called a Chipotle truck. Okay? And I thought that meant that they were gonna give you Chipotle, or it was like a food stand, right? And you walk up and you can order Chipotle and they like scoop it out and then they give it to you and then you go back and you eat and then you go play fighter games, okay? That was not what it was. What happened is you had to stand in line. Then what they did was they put you in the bus, drove you to the nearest Chipotle, which was 30 minutes away. Then you order your food. Then you go back to Evo and you eat it there. Huh? Just make a food truck. This is so dumb.
Apparently, but this is exactly what I want. Okay, I spent my entire childhood getting told don't talk to strangers. As a grown-ass adult, there's nothing I want more in my life than to be able to summon a stranger with my cell phone and have them take me to Taco Bell before dropping my drunk ass off at home. And you know what? I'm gonna order all the ridiculous shit they've had on the menu over the years, because remember, they're only there to push Pepsi products. They don't care about having good quality Mexican food, and that's why they've essentially turned their entire menu into a circus show.
No, their entire menu is the same 5 things put in 900 different packages. Like, it all tastes the same if you think about it. You eat, you go, I don't know what that was.
I love it. The entire menu is just like the shit that you would talk about with your buddies when you were like drunk or high. Like, bro, you know what would sound good if we made a quesadilla and then turn that quesadilla into the shell for a burrito? We'll call it the quesarito.
Please bring back the quesarito. This was the greatest menu item of all time and they took it away. Why would they do that? That's why my extra Steam account is named Quesarito Gobbler.
Oh man, this crunch wrap sure is good. You know what would make it better? If we replace the hard shell tortilla on the inside with a giant fucking Cheez-It.
It was disgusting. I am a very accepting person, okay? And I tried it like I told you. Ugh. It wasn't even good.
And you know what? While we're at it, we might as well make the hard shell tacos shell a giant Dorito. Why not?
That's good.
So yeah, in conclusion, that is the story of Taco Bell. That time that a Marine came home from World War II, started a Mexican hot dog restaurant that somehow perfected the art of shit-talking, trolling, and creating weird menu items, all on its quest to force people to drink Pepsi. Thank you for watching. The best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at theFatElectrician.com. Quack bang out.
That was awesome. I love his videos. So good. Clappy, clappy, clappy. And guess what? We all learned something today. We all learned a little fun fact that we'll tell our friends. You're an expert.
You know, for once, I know this video is super unhinged, but I feel like it's not my fault this time.
Oh. I feel like I have to start looking up on, like, IMDb who has after credits. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. I hope you have a great evening. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and like the video. Helps me out. And if you would like to use code Berry for checkout at GamerSubs, helps me maybe one day get a booba cup. So thank you for that. I hope you have a great evening. Goodbye, YouTube. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Also, I did want to tell you guys this on YouTube, but I yap about it a lot on stream. In case you don't come to stream, I want to just tell you this now. Thank you for the plushie. I was not expecting so many of you guys to sign up for the plush. It means the world to me. My dream was to have a plushie one day. So thank you for making that a reality. We were very close to 1,000 plushies. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And keep me away from the jar. Bye-bye. Thank you again. Bye-bye.